Now let's take a look at all the military hardware on display earlier. Well, Fergus, now the part of the parade that military commanders from all around the world will be watching with interest. First of all, the tanks, armoured tanks, Chinese-made, 90% of them on display for the first time.
Indeed, the latest generation, and in comparison to the first parade in 1949, when all the tanks that were there were either captured or were foreign tanks, but none of them were made in China. Now we see the Snow Leopard detachment. These are particularly looking after VIPs. We saw them a lot in Beijing during the Olympics, and whenever there is a special visit or a special event in the capital, these commandos, as they are very much in evidence.
That's right. Hu Jintao, of course, had paraded all the way down. He'd already seen them, and then they parade past the crowd in front of Tiananmen Square.
Now we have artillery of various types, anti-aircraft guns, basically mobile anti-aircraft guns. Missiles, these are sea-based missiles, so they'd be normally based on ships, as you can see there from the Navy. And then these are conventional land-to-land missiles. These are all Chinese-made, and in fact, some of these are now exported to other armies around the world.
That's right, and as you can see, it's slowly getting larger and larger as the line parades down in front of the crowds. Coming up, we have the nuclear missiles here.
That's right. These are the intercontinental ballistic missiles, and probably you could say sort of the top of the military hardware in China. Nuclear deterrent, and as the government here always says, it's purely for defence. These are new. These are the cruise missiles, which China has made its own. We've seen these appear from the American forces in Iraq, and we see how they follow the terrain, and they can be very accurate. First time, obviously, that they've appeared in a parade here.
That's right. Now the most exciting part, possibly for the crowd, the flyover. Very colourful, as you can see, all different types of planes and helicopters and formations. We've been seeing them practice in the previous weeks.
Yeah, we had the AWACS, which is the aerial warfare or aerial electronic warfare, followed by some bombers, and then we have now the refuelling section. This plane can refuel 2 fighters at the same time, followed by a small detachment of China's latest fighter, the J-11. This is actually the 3rd generation of Chinese fighter. Helicopters, very important, as we saw through the Sichuan earthquake. These were used in search and rescue, but came very much to the fore. And finally, one of the new things this time, a debut for the women fighter pilots. They're here flying training planes. And of course, we don't forget the Navy. And the Navy gets a look in. They're not in Tiananmen Square, obviously. They're sailing off the East China coast, but they will have their own parade in April.